so others can. Okay. All right. So welcome to week 5 lessons. Now we are going to begin with images, and in the image lesson, we're going to look at how to upload images on the web page, and also we're also going to look at how to position these images at the right places that we want on our web page. Now I have a page that I have pre-written some scripts on it, and yeah, I have a page with a heading that introduces students to the school. So I have pre-written these codes here just to save time, and this image text will be using them to illustrate how to upload images on our web page, and also how to position the images in the right areas along with the text on our web page. So to begin, we are going to upload an image, and then we'll see how it's done. Now, to upload an image on the web page, we use the tag, we use the HTML tag, the img element, I'll be using this for shortcut, and in the img elements, which is for images, you specify the source of your image. Now on my folder, image folder, I have saved some images that I'll be using to illustrate these lessons. Now I want to reference my logo image. I want to upload my image on the web page as a logo here, and I want it to display on the side of the page. Now to do this, first I am going to insert my image using the source. Now my image is located in the source attributes. My image is located in the images folder, and the name of the image I'll be using here is logo. .png. Always remember to add the extension of the image file. Now also on the image tag, I would also specify the type of a short description. So the alt attribute enables us to give a description to the image. So let's say you on a web page where the network isn't too good, and you're not able to load the images on the web page. Now the alt text, it's also an alternative for you to be able to tell what type of image was meant to be displayed there. So it also helps readers to understand your web page as well. Now our alt here would be logo first. Okay, I'm just going to describe the logo first. So it's for School of Programming. So this is quite long, but it's going to help the reader to understand what image is being uploaded on the page or is seen on the page. Now I'm going to save this so we can see how our image displays on the web page. All right, now as you can see, the image is quite big, which is displaying over all the text I have on the page. Now the positioning would come in handy here. This is where we're going to see how we can place our image in the right area of the web page. Now I also want to have a heading as well on this page. and the heading looking for the name of the school. I'm going to save this so we can see how this displays as well. Okay, now we have the heading, School of Programming and Software Development, and also the logo, which is displaying too big. So we have several ways we can use to adjust our image sizes. We looked at some of them in the last week lessons. So now I'm going to adjust the size of this image in my CSS. So I'll be using the embedded CSS style here so we can see everything I will be doing on the page. Now I want to style this image to have a less size, and first I am going to give it a class so I can easily style it. Now I'm going to name this class logo. And in my style here, I'm going to style the class logo. Alright, now the first thing I want to do here is to adjust the size of the image so it can display properly as a logo. And to do that, we are going to set the height. Now I want the height to be auto because the image is going to be a small image, so I want it to be auto to fit in whenever I adjust my screen for responsiveness. So I'm going to use auto, and then the width, I'm going to use max width. This will enable the image to always adjust according to the screen size. Now the max width here, I would specify 150px since it's a small image for logo size. Now I'm going to save this and see how small it is. So we've reduced the size of the image. Now we want to position this image on the web page to display as a logo header along with the text we have on the page. Now we have the heading, School of Programming and Software Development. Now to position the image, we use different position properties. Now we can also use floats as well. So it depends on the style that works well for you, and then also the situation that you find yourself. Now here I can use the float property and I can use the position property as well. So let's look at the position property first before we use the float property. Now for the position property, we use the position property to position an image or an element at a specific area of our page. Now the values we have are absolute, fixed, relative, sticky, and inherit. Now the default is usually static, and for static, it's the elements with this position property are positioned in normal flow of the document, so they won't move unless explicitly you tell them to. Okay, thank you for that correction. Thank you for it was an oversight. Thank you very much. I'm going to adjust that now. and see how it works on the page. Okay, just hiding this option set and stop. Okay, so we still have the logo size reduced, but I really appreciate the correction. Thank you very much. All right, so I was talking about the position property. So in position property, we have static, relative, absolute, fixed, and sticky. Now for the static is the default position for all elements if you do not specify a particular property for your position. And then also the elements with this position property are positioned in the normal flow of the document. So they do not move, or they do not move from their initial positions. Now for relative, well, when an element is set to relative, it's positioned relatively to its normal position on the document. So if you move it left or right or down, it moves from where it would have been, not from the edges of the parent or any other container it is. So the relative is just going to make sure that the position of the element itself is relative to its normal position of the document. So I'm going to illustrate it better with example. So let's try relative first and see. Now for relative, we can specify, for the same tool for all other positions, we can specify if we want the image or the element to have space from the margin of the main body of the website, of the page, sorry. So here I can decide to choose 10px. So it's depending on your own choice. So here I decide to the top of the margin of this image. Now I'm going to have a 10px space, and then also it's going to shift 10px, and then I want it to also have another 10px space on the left as well. Now we have our space, but to also illustrate better, we're going to see our other values for position and display on the page. Now I want to also style this header so it could align well with the rest of the image. I'm going to use a text align to center the heading itself. So because the text is long, you don't see much space, but now it's no longer starting from the left margin. Now this is for relative. Now I want to, let's see how the other properties displays with our logo. So next we want to use absolute. So for absolute position, it's going to position elements relative to its nearest position ancestor. Well, what we have here is just on the body. So what it's going to do here is going to position it just next relative to the body itself, body element. So if we're to be in a container, it's going to make sure that the image is displayed relative to its ancestor element. That's the nearest position ancestor. So it's going to, let's see how this display on the page first. So now absolute doesn't take commission of the elements around, but it's going to position just relative to the nearest element, but Now here, what we have here is that it's displaying on top of the text. So in this case, we can't use absolute for the logo. So we also have fixed, and fixed would make sure that the image, that's the logo, displays fixed on the view of the page. So let's say I want to scroll down here. Let's say I reduce this page so I can have a scroll. So the image would remain fixed on the page, and the top when we move. So as well, the top space and left space still remains too as well. It's going to stay the same margin on the page as we move. Now we also have another property called sticky. Now what this does is it just makes sure that when you scroll on the page, the image or the element is going to be on the same view with the scroll bar. So if this page was longer, so that's why I try to have more text on the page so we can have a very long scroll bar. This is just to let us know that when you have your position as sticky, the image is also going to stay on the same relative to the scroll bar, just like the fixed. But the difference is this: the logo is going to be relative to the scroll bar, so it doesn't stay at just one position as well. Then also we can also position this image using the float property. So let's see how that works here. I'm going to take out this position property, and then I'll use my float. So I want the logo to float left of the text on the web page. Now you see it's being displayed at the left. So depending on the size of the image as well, will determine how it's going to fit in the text you have on the page. So if I reduce the size of this image further, then it would stay on the same line or position with the header, which is the H1. So the float property positions the elements on the side of the page you desire. So if I set this to be right, this is going to display the image on the right side of the page. So now I'm going to leave this like this and we'll move on to the next topic. But if you want your image to display on the side you desire, you can use any of the position properties to specify and you can also specify the size of the image so it fits in if you want it to be as a logo on your page. Now next we want to look at how we can use image sprites to cut out a particular area of an image. So I'm going to use this text here as my content. Then I would show you how to creatively use the image sprites on our web page. Now on the content here we have courses. We have this section for courses. So I want to have I have an image here. Let me show you the image first. Okay, so it's going to load slow. Okay, so I'm going to upload this image first on the page so we see how the image looks like first. Now I want to use the URL. First, let me just show you the page, the image how it looks like. So I have my image in my image folder. my image is icons. That's png. So first, I want us to see how this image displays on the page. Now, as you can see, the image size is quite big, and it's just an image which holds different icons for the courses. So now let's say you're in a real-world project. Now you're working on a real-world project and you're designing a website for a school, and you want these icons on this image to be rearranged in a way that you want just only a particular part of the image to display. Now, you see, it's displaying the whole image on the page, which doesn't categorically put them in an organized way. So now I want to have specific icons to display first before the next icon. So to do this, now there are also other reasons why you might want to display just one area of your image. Now, and this is just one, so I'm going to use this to illustrate how to do this. So I want to have these images, these icons on this image. The whole image is the whole of this space, as you can see. So I want the icons to be displayed individually, not on the image. So I want to cut out the parts of the image I want to display. So first, you can do this with there are different websites that you can use to do this on the internet, but here I'm going to use the SpriteCow website. So it's spritecow.com. If you want to use this website, you can try it. So you just go to spritecow.com to upload your image and then cut out the area you want. So, but what I want to do here is I want to list out these icons on my web page as the courses that are available. So I'm going to use a list. And in the list, I am going to have a class for the image I will be cutting up. So I'll call this first one HTML. Then I want to have another list, another icon on the page. You can also use a div tag for this as well, but it's easy to, since I already have a plan on how to position my images, it's easy for me to use list to do that. Now you can use div, you can use any elements that holds images as well. Now I want to have another list, and this will be for JavaScript. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to use these two because of time. Now on the website here, you are required to upload the image you want to cut out the area you desire. Now, if you come to the website, if you're using the spritescow.com, after uploading your image is going to display like this. Now, there are different functionalities with different websites if you are exploring, but on this website, what you do is you select this open here, and it's going to take you to your file folder where you select the image you want to cut out. Now, when you come back here, when it uploads on the page here, you're going to select the area of the image you want. So I want the HTML icon. Now, once you select the icon, it automatically aligns the edges. Now, the script here is the coordinates you're going to be using on your CSS style to get the exact area of the image that you want to be displayed. So here it's automatically saved the name of the class as Sprite. So you always remember to change the name of the class, because I already have my class here as HTML. So when you copy the code, you always want to make sure you look at it very well to specify the class you have. And then also the image reference here is being abbreviated. So you also want to take note of this as well to make sure that you have the right name or folder that you want to reference the image from. So I'm going to copy this out. And now come to my style here. And I'll paste the code I have copied. So always remember to change the name of the class. Now the name of my class is HTML. And it's the image I want to be displayed here is in the images folder. And the name is icon.png. Now the measurements you see here this is the area of the image, particular part of the image that I want to be displayed. The no repeats is just a shorthand that is going to prevent the image from displaying duplicated on the page, to fill in spaces. And also the width is the exact height of the image as it displays on the whole image itself, and also that's the width and the height. So I'm going to save this and go back to the page to see how it's displayed. Now you can see the image, the icon display came with the list marker. So I have to make sure that this doesn't display on the page, so users don't get confused when they look at the web page. I'm going to use the list style type for that. So for my list, I'm going to set the list style type to none. And I also want the icons to display in blocks, so I'm going to give a style for my li tag, which is the list itself. So that's the list item itself. So I'm going to set the display to be inline block. So I want it displayed on the same line on the page. Now this list type set to none is going to remove the marker, and then for the other icons which I would be uploading soon, it's going to display inline instead of on a block format. So if I refresh this now, I have the marker disappeared from there, and I just have the icon I want to display. So let's add more to this list. Now we have for JavaScript, so I'm going to return to the sprite.cow site, and I want the JavaScript icon. So I'm going to mark this out. So you just use the mouse to select the area. Once you press the right click, it's left click is going to start showing you the highlights. So you drag to the area of the image you want. Now I want the JavaScript icon to display, and here it has given me the class and the coordinates I need. So I'm going to copy this as well. And I'm going to paste this. Always try to remember that the class is not the same as the one on the website. So what I have here for my class is JS, and the image is in the images folder. I'll save this and we'll go back to hide this flat. Okay. Go back to our page, refresh, and then we have our icons listed. So we don't have the whole image displaying on the page. So this is just one creative way you can use to select a particular area of an image to display on your web page. Now we can go on and list the rest of the icons, but this is just a short illustration for you to see how it's possible. Now we also have other ways we can use images on the web page. Now let's say we have an image and you want to creatively use this image to have a clickable area on the web page. Now sometimes these are not always used on most websites, but this just depends on your design and how you want your website to look, or to the feel you want to give. You want it to look very interactive. So here I'm going to show you an image which I have for this illustration. So I'm going to do this on the ready to get started. So I'm going to first of all upload the image, so we'll see how the image displays. And the image is click, and my images folder. Name is click.png. Alright, let's see how the image displays on the web page. Alright, now as you can see, this is the image, and you can see it has some graphic content on it. Now we want to try and make this very interesting. So we could easily have a button that is going to take users to a particular website or parts of this website if we wish. Now what I'm trying to illustrate here is how you can redirect someone using a clickable image from a landing page to a web page for more information, so for a particular purpose. So now here this landing page is trying to get students to go to the website, school website, to register for courses. Now what I'm going to do here is I want this image where I have a graphic content that says click here. I want this image to be clickable, this part of the image. Now the image, I have designed it already, so you can also do this with other images as well, but this is a customized image that I've designed for this purpose. So I want this rocket, I want it to be, when I click this rocket, it's going to take me to School of Programming website. So let's see how we can do this. Now to do this, we use image map for this, and we are going to use the website imagemap.net, where now I've uploaded my image here already. I'm going to cancel this out, so I'll start all over again. So I have, when you using the imagemap.net, you're required to upload the image. So you select your image from your system, from your PC, and when it displays, you to select the area of the image you want to be clickable. Now I can decide to select any area of this image, but since I have customized this image to have the rockets here to be clickable, so I'm going to select this rocket part. Sorry, I was wrong. So just like the sprite map, you select the area you want. By left clicking, and it highlights. So I'm trying to make sure every area of this rocket is clickable. Alright, now I have the rocket selected. So the link I'm going to just do this quickly. I'm going to copy the URL from the school website, and I'm going to use it for our link. Now you can set the title, but I'm just going to go straight to show you how you can do this on your web page. Now the targets, I want it to display on another tab. Once I click, I want it to open on another tab. Then I select show code, and you get the codes that you need for the coordinates. So what you're to do here is copy the codes, but you have to understand how this works. Now on our web page, we have the image tag, which we use to upload images on the web page. Now the source has been set, and also for the auth attributes, you have to make sure that the image has a description. So it's very important to do this. And here we want to say the image is okay, so I'll just say rocket image. Alright. Now, to make sure that you're able to use your image as an image map, you have to use the attributes, use map attributes, which is spelled as use map. Now in the use map attributes value, you want to give a name for the image. Here on the map site, it has been given as image map. Now you can specify your own name if you wish, but I'm going to use this image map because it needs to be also specified on the map elements as well. So when we get there, I'll explain. Now I'm going to use the hash sign first for the name of the image map, which is image to copy this, paste in my code. Now, once you have used the image tag to upload your image, now between the tag that isn't well, let's see. Alright, so between the map tag, between the open and the map tag, you specify first in the map opening tag of the map elements, you specify the name which you have given as the use map. You specify the name there, and also you in between the open and the close tag of the map, you have the area elements, which would give the exact coordinates of the cable area of the part of the image you want. Now, the target here has been set to blank, which we did on the website already by uploading. Then the alternate text is rocket image. Then you see the title as well, so we could give the title and also the link which we set. So I'm going to scroll this. The link which we set the clickable area to take us to, and the coordinates as well. So these are used set with the attributes codes. The shape is the area of the highlights of that particular area which we want to click, and the href to take us to the link that we've specified on the image. Now I'm going to save this. I'll go back to our website and see if it works. Now, while highlighting, moving around the image, you can see that nothing displays on the areas that we have not set the coordinates to be clickable. Now, for the rocket, it's already displaying the website that it's going to take us to. So now, if I follow the instruction that says join with us, click here. So to join the school now, I click this rocket. It will take me to the school website where I can now register and enroll for the course. So this is just one creative way we can use image map and image sprite to display images on our website. Is there any question so far? So while I wait for questions, let's try to make the page look more interesting. So I want to set a style. I want to give a style for the whole text content we have on the page. So you can see here it's just displaying from the left side without a margin. So let's and then I gave a class to the text content in a div. So the whole text content is in one div which holds a class called content. So I'm going to style this content. So first let's set the margin. Let's give 20 px. So this will just trying out different ways to see how our image displays properly. So now we have the text with a proper margin on the page, not displaying from the beginning margin of the page. Now I'm still waiting for questions. If you have any questions so far, you can ask now. There are more lessons on the class lesson videos, so you can go back to the class lesson to assist you further on your assignments. So let's say in the assignment where you have 2 images to be uploaded on the web page, you should also recall that you use the clear attribute when you have 2 images displaying on a particular side of the web page. So let's say I have my logo displaying on the right here, and I also want to have another image below the heading as well on this web page. So if I have both of them floated to the right, so I want to have another image. So you have to remember that you use the clear property for floating your image to that particular area of the page. That's the right as well, as just like the one for the logo. All right, I'm still waiting for any questions still. If you have any questions to ask. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, I can
I
hear you.
actually typed the question in the chat, but I can ask it. My question is, if you want the images on different places, like what you did now with the sprite, the images you are kind of put in a kind of link and displayed in a flex. So what if I want to have the images maybe from that one sprite? Now I'm supposed to get some images, but they won't be on the same. Do I need to use another list and this li to place those images, since they're not going to be in this straight line?
Yeah, okay. All right, that's a very good question. So when I was using the list, I mentioned that I wanted it to be on a list format, so that's why I used the list. Now, if I wasn't supposed to, if let's say the requirement for this design isn't for the icons to display like a list, be it inline or in block format. So what you're asking now is if you want to have just one image displayed and you don't want to use the UL list element, right?
No, not
That's
just one. I could have different images, but not on the same.
Okay.
Not
Okay,
like
not
in a list. Maybe one could be here, one could be under facilities, one could be under joiner community. Yeah.
Well, let's do that now since we still have time. So I'm going to take out this class and put Alright, so there isn't even need for copying it. So I'm just going to type it here. Now I'm using a div for this. So you see that there are different ways we can do this. Now in this div, my class for this is HTML. Now remember, I have cropped out the parts of the image on the image sprites website, and I have gotten the particular area cut out on my style, right? So I'm not doing this again, just so you understand. But if you're doing this, you have to make sure that the area of the image you want to be displayed is properly cut out, and you copy the code just as it is on the site, and make sure the reference and the name of the class is also correct with what you have on your project. Now I already have this on my CSS, so all I have to do is I'm taking it out from a list. I don't want that class anymore to be in a list tag. I just put it in a div tag, and I just have one. So I'm going to have also another div. Let's say we want it to be displayed under this community. So this was JS. So since we have just two styles we copied from the image sprites, that's why I'm using just these two. If I had more icons cut out, I'm also going to specify them just like this. But what I'm trying to show is that I'm not using the list tag, I'm using a div tag for this. I'm going to save this and let's see how it works. Now you see that the images are still being separated on different area of the page. Now the main thing you take into note is that wherever you want the area of that particular image displayed, you can use elements that can hold images. Now this is one, we use div tag for this. Now we've used a list as well. Now if you explore further, you can also see that there are also other ways to do this, but this is just one good way I would recommend for you. It's always good to have elements or classes in a div styled, because it's easier to style than when they are in other elements that might have maybe conflicting styles. So when you progress, you understand this better. But for now, a div is your best option when you want to have elements being positioned, cut out, or realigned in a particular design. So it's always good you have them in a div so you can style them using a class. So you can see I have one image uploaded on the page, but it's now being cut out into different areas of the page. So as long as you have the name of the image, now it's still the same image I uploaded here and the same image I uploaded here, but the difference is one is cut out to have just only the HTML icon, and then the other is cut out to have just only the JavaScript icon, which I have selected on this right now.
Okay, Then
So
I also have another question. I encountered a challenge when I was working on my project. That price that was given, that was set on the WhatsApp platform. Yeah, I tried to, when I click on an image there, it was only the first character there that clicked. The other one, once I click any other image, it will highlight the whole image.
Okay.
And when it highlights, it will be showing you the whole instead of the particular one. So I've tried it. I even log out, refresh, waited and try again, the same challenge.
Okay, let's do that here too as well. All right. I have the image here already on my images folder. So I'm going to cut out the image. So let's change the image this time. Let's use that particular image. This is the image, right? Hello? Is this the right image? This is the image you're talking about?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we want to cut out a particular person from this image. Let's choose the one from the middle. So let's choose a complex position. Okay. Now I'm going to select the area. So when you upload, I don't know if this is the website you used, but on this website, you just upload the image and you select the area. Now, sometimes you do have that whole image being, yes, because most times it wants to read out where it has enough spaces, where it wants to, so it's like an AI wants to see where it can say, okay, this is the edge of this particular area. So you just have to make sure you're selecting the right area. So I'm using this tool here to make sure that, okay, if I'm selecting the image itself, it's not reading, let's use the background for it. So I'm going to try this now. It's still not working. Okay, so you can see how I'm adjusting, but it's not reading all the images here. So you see this background picker can get the image on the left, on the right.
Are you clicking on it?
Yes, I am clicking on it. So
once I make a click, it will highlight all of them.
Okay, so you try this, you try it like this, you try to see how you can make sure that it doesn't go out. Maybe try to get the precise area of the image. So you just keep trying. Now it's the same problem I'm having here, but I am just going to make sure that I'm selecting the particular area of the image until I get it right.
But I have to start manipulating the areas.
Yes, but I think the images you're meant to use shouldn't give you much headache, because most of them here I see that are clickable or they're easy to cut out. They are the ones that you can use for your assignments. So you can just pick out the ones that are easily cut out. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe a different website could easily read them. So it all depends on the functionalities of the website to use them. So, but for this website, I can only do this. So I know that it's trying to read out the spaces around it. So it's going for only the content itself. So if it doesn't find enough space, it's going to find the areas that has much spaces. That's why the space between here, it's not really much, if you notice. So it's going to look for the where has more spaces, which is between here and then these places. So it's almost as if anything I click here now, okay, especially for this side, it's going to look for where has more spaces to read first. So now this image in the middle seems to have difficulties reading, but for the rest that has more spaces, you can easily cut out the areas you want. So you just select the sprite and it does its magic. All right, so it's either the website or you change the image. All right, is there any other questions? We'll already
thank you.
passed that time. You're welcome. So if you have any questions that you are not clear yet, you can always reach out to me directly on the WhatsApp group. You can send a direct message or you book a one-on-one. So the email is on the WhatsApp. All right, so I wish you all success in your efforts and your assignments. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.